Welcome to this year's first event. I thought I'd share with you off the beginning here. There's an article in the Villager about our group and us hitting 1,000 members. So congratulations to everybody. You might want to check this out. And who's never been here before? Few people. Never been here before. Yeah. Who's been here before? No. So welcome. What we do is we meet every single month. We go through different issues every month on social media and how to generate ROI using these new tools. How has the world of communications changed? How would we implement strategies to take advantage of these changes? What is this? What's happening in society, and how are you going to take these things? How are you going to take all these changes, use them productively to generate ROI in your business? And in case somebody doesn't know what ROI means, return on investment. It's very easy to get the investment part of social media. You can spend all day on Facebook, right? Listening and talking and saying, great, you had spaghetti for dinner and this and that and the other thing, and there'd be no return there. So what the goal of our group is to say, how do we take these tools, utilize them, and make these things happen to generate very good returns? And so we meet every month. It's an open conversation. We try and get kind of everybody's feedback and figure out what people are doing that's really working well for them, educate everybody. It's for groups of anybody at any level doing social media. So I wanted to acknowledge our sponsors. Pete's Coffee, which is located right over here, provides the coffee for our group. My Favorite Muffin provides all the muffins that you see out there. That might be an easy connection to make. And Dale Honning Videography. Dale shoots each one of these events, and then they get posted up on YouTube. So if people want to go watch these later and pick up on anything they might have missed, that's all up there. And so some of the things that we've talked about over the last couple of years is how social media and how the internet and how these tools have completely changed the way that businesses have to think about marketing. It's no longer something that I take and I push out to people and I say, listen to what I have to say and then buy from me. Because people don't listen to messages like that anymore. If I'm not engaging people, if I'm not working to build community around my brand, if it's not a dialogue, if it's only a monologue, people are less engaged, they're less likely to refer you, they're less likely to repeat business with you. And so a lot of what we talk about is this building of community around your brand, engaging people. And one of the aspects of that is transparency. So who's seen the new McDonald's commercial where the farmer's out there with his potato and he's eating his potato and saying what great potatoes he grows and how proud he is that he sells this wonderful potato to McDonald's, right? And so what a lot of businesses are doing now is they're heading towards transparency. Come meet our growers, come meet our people, come meet our team. And so as you guys look at commercials and you look at ads going forward, you're going to see probably more and more and more of this, not this is our product, these are our people, and this is what it means, and I am this. And there's another one where the guy's a rancher and he has cattle, and he says, I serve the same beef on my table as I sell to McDonald's. And I thought, wow. No. But this transparency is important. So I'd encourage you guys to think about how can you open up your business and how can you say, get to know me or get to know my people or get to know what I think or get to know what I believe or get to know why I'm passionate about why I'm doing or what I'm doing. And that'll kind of bring in more emotions and build more connection to people. I wanted to give Michael at the dry cleaning station a plug. I use their dry cleaning service, right? And so he's here in this group, and I've never had any connection to the dry cleaning station. It's this place that comes and gets the clothes off my door every Monday and Thursday, and they show up every Monday and Thursday, and I take them upstairs. No interaction whatsoever, right? And he comes to this group now, and now I'm putting my clothes out, and I know this person, and there's a different connection, okay? So it's getting to know somebody. I wore this shirt this morning because I had spilled some grease on it, and I got it back from the dry cleaner, and the grease was still there, took it back, and I don't even know where it was anymore. So there's a plug, too. So So getting to know these people makes you more akin to doing business with them. So how can you open that up? What should your website look like? What should your emails look like? Should it be, I sell a product, I sell a product, I sell a product, I sell a product? Or, this is the way I think, this is the way I feel, this is the way I do business. I just happen to sell this product, but wouldn't you like to do business with me? Right? And so that's important. The other question I wanted to ask everybody today is, how many of you believe that your clients expect you to be on Facebook and on Twitter, and if they had an issue and they tweeted about it, that you would see that and react to it? So, show of hands, how many people expect? Okay, so, I don't know, let's call it 15% of people. If I'm a larger company that's doing business to consumer sales, I totally expect that. How many people in here have tweeted about an issue they've had with a larger company and gotten some sort of a result? Anybody? Do you want to share with us what you did?
Well, it was more of just a minor customer service issue. And I just said that I wasn't getting response, and immediately, I mean, I would say, I checked again within 10 minutes.
So you had called,
yes.
Nothing, no response. You put it on Twitter.
Yes. And
okay.
I said, I'm not getting response for this company. Does anybody know what to do? And they were there.
Boom.
And I was very impressed.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking about not maybe continuing doing business with this company, all of a sudden I said, I want to do business.
Okay, they're on it. Yeah. So good. Anybody else who has tried this? This is common. I even had a person at Comcast when I had an issue. I had called, and I needed something, and the customer service people said, I'm not able to do that. But if you go tweet about it, those people have more power. Those people have more power than the people that you talk to on the telephone, because now it's impacting the world. And this goes to transparency, and this goes to, holy cow, we don't want people saying bad things out there. And they've acknowledged that anybody can take that path. It's just they all haven't gotten used to saying, you know, we operate the same way, the level of service. Why let it get to a tweet before you respond that way? It's got to go all the way, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, that's a... I mean, isn't that a problem with allowing social media to become that? Because this is about customer service. And if your customer service can't handle the problem, and then we're just training customers to go complain on social media and be as loud and obnoxious as possible, because then we have to do something about it.
Yes.
And as a person who works in social media for a company, that's really frustrating, because now I've got people, you know, complaining and being jerks on my Facebook page, when it's like, just call us and we'll take care of you.
Well, and it's going to have an adverse effect. If I get it because I do it, as opposed to it just being the status quo, I might just start asking for totally unrealistic things, saying I'm going to say this if you don't give it to me. So I see that as a big danger as well. But I hope what happens is that businesses start saying, you know what? Let's nip it in the bud before it has to get to that, and let's make sure that everybody's empowered to build these better relationships with our clients. Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, is why did this company not answer their phone, and it took you twitting them to get them to respond? Did they ever respond to that question?
I was dealing with a different type of customer service on Twitter.
I think when it goes public,
yes,
they say, oh, this is out there in the public.
Yes.
But any one of us can sit here in this meeting, I hope not, pull out their phone and tweet anything they want about any company. And I think all businesses need to kind of be aware of that fact. If you've got a customer that's not being reasonable, which we all, you know, it's going to happen, right? It's inevitable if you deal with customers that there's going to be somebody who feels like you did not meet their expectations, realistic or not realistic. But at least if you can't, they need to feel like you care and that you tried, and that avoids that. I think I read a number, like 73% of people stop doing business with companies because the perception is they don't care. It's not that they didn't get what they expected. They didn't da-da-da-da-da. I had somebody call me yesterday. Our IT coordinator was out to lunch, and the person called, and they were having an email issue, and they got told that somebody was out to lunch. And he called me, and he said, I just can't believe that's the only person that da-da-da-da-da-da. And I called him back, and I said, well, I'm sorry. And he said, it's just that the person who told me that didn't seem to care. And so I said, well, trust me, we very much care. Here's my cell phone number. If you, blah, blah, blah. And I do this all the time, and nobody's ever called my cell phone. It's whatever. So it's do you care? And that's what they want to have. Yeah.
Another huge difference with Twitter is that you can just send the tweet out as opposed to having to navigate through a giant maze of phone, press 1, press 3, press 8. So
it's
a
even
tweet
easier,
is
right?
Just, yeah, much faster.
Yeah, I don't even need to be on the phone. I can just, here, nothing. Wow. All right, so that's a big change in our society and how things happen and the transparency of business, because now any customer complaint isn't sitting in a voicemail box. Customer complaints are out there for everybody in the world to see, and if I go on Twitter and I search for that company, I get to see all of it. So companies have to kind of be aware, and maybe not smaller companies, but everybody kind of has to start thinking this way. Gotcha.
I suppose another example is I just went into Foursquare, and apparently there's 6 of us here that have checked into Foursquare. There's additional social media and where we're at.
Including the mayor.
More people on Facebook, including yourself.
Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. No. So today's conversation, we're going to talk about sharing across social media channels and selecting the right tools. I kind of wrote down, what I want to do is start off with a definition. And I looked this up, and social media, the definition of social media is the use of web-based and mobile technologies to turn communication into an interactive dialogue. So, if I'm calling a voicemail box and leaving a message, that's not interactive dialogue. I go out there and I tweet and the dialogue begins, right? And so we ought to think about everything we do with our clients and everything we do with our customers and everything we do really with anybody that we do business in terms of creating an interactive dialogue. How can we make sure that anybody that has anything to say, that we've set up the channels for that to occur versus them having to go outside to Twitter and having that conversation? So if you're not asking for feedback, if you're not doing a survey after something's done, if you're not listening to social media and things, you're not engaged in that dialogue, and I'd ask you to open up those channels to create that communication path.